Okay. Good evening, everyone. Ahora sí. All right. E, reconvene to open session. It is approximately 6:05. F, announcement of actions taken in closed session. None. G, oh, you have one? All right. Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Jimenez.
Thank you, President Calderon. In closed session, on a motion of Trustee Alvarado and seconded by Trustee Ciro Calderon, the board took action to authorize payment of $436.02 to a district employee to settle a pending case with the Department of Industrial Relations by the following roll call. The vote was 4-0, with ayes, 0 nays, with Trustee Richard Romero absent today.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. G, comments from the public. The board will take any and all comments from the public related to an item on the agenda or other items of district business that is not on the agenda. And we do have one today, Ms. Sonia Redona.
I have a loud voice, you can hear me. And I want to introduce Gabe Herrera, my first vice president, and Daniela Vega, our labor relation representative, okay? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure to work with the new superintendent. I did want to take some time to speak about the item we have on the agenda. In anticipation in the past, I know negotiations have taken so long, and this is to work in benefit of both the district and the members. It's only to lock down the years. We still have to go to the table, but I hope that we can work together to just streamline the process and make sure that, we don't prolong it any more than we both want to.
Before I forget, I want to say thank you, Mr. Jimenez. We've been meeting and we're getting things done. Thank you.
Thank you. H, consent agendas. All items appearing will be acted upon one motion without discussion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second by Calderon Jr. All those in favor, please say. What's it? Oh, yes.
So, Board President, President Calderon, I would ask if the board can consider pulling item number 6 from the consent agenda, and that was the travel to Calexico High School cross-country team to attend the Peaks XC Invitational in Flagstaff, Arizona on September 3rd, 2022, which did not take place.
Oh, so it's not happening?
That's correct.
So
yes.
Okay.
I'll make a
Okay.
motion to approve and pulling item number 6.
I'll second. Well, hold on, there were a motion and
I
a
had a
second. So I will withdraw my, do you need to withdraw your second?
Well, I
No,
withdraw-
because there was a motion and a second.
Correct,
Yes.
correction. So what I'll do is I'll withdraw my motion,
I'll withdraw my motion. Let's go ahead.
and then I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the consent agenda, but with that, pulling item number
Excluding
6.
Yes. So Cito, you're gonna second it?
Yes.
Second by Cito. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0
4-0.
with Romero absent. I, consent items, Board Advisory Committee on School Construction, basic vetted items. 1, approval of recommendation for DSA Inspector Service for construction projects at Calexico High School. I do have a question. Who can answer it?
Mr. Daniel Campo?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, good evening, Mr. Ocampo. I have a question on this item and the fact that we already have Mr. John Hartline as a DSA inspector. Why do we need a second one?
Because Mr. Hartline is no longer going to be authorized by DSA to be a DSA inspector. He's retiring.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
he's
All right. That's the only question I had. And Does anyone else
Is
have a
this,
question?
is this just gonna be just for one, correct? It's not gonna be for two, cause on there, it states two, but what's the reasoning behind, having two?
So, let's say like they're going to do a placement of cement at 2 o'clock in the morning, and they're gonna start at 2, and it runs longer than 8 hours, then they would need 2 to cover that period, to keep pouring. So it's only one, but in case it runs over the 8 hours that.
But correct, but there's 24 hours in a day, so wouldn't they stay for 12 hours? They wouldn't stay for 12 hours then?
They wouldn't, their contract specifically said 8 hours, and then they would bring somebody else in to cover.
Because that's gonna cost us a lot more having two.
We, in the past, we've only had John Hartline
Yes.
as the DSA.
Yes, and he would stay, and then that would be, he would charge us on a specific rate, but with this, Paragon, they specifically requested, 2 inspectors in case they run over the allotted time that they're supposed to be working.
Well,
And it's
I
just
don't
to
know
get-
if we're gonna pour at night, but can we just go with one, and then if we need it, bring it back to the board?
We would have to go back to the company and ask them if we could just go with one, and that's why it says 2 if needed. So that's why we went out and specifically requested that way.
I don't know, the board, what do you think?
Does it have to be approved then by today? I mean, we're gonna start pouring or doing
No,
work?
no, all the projects this is going forward after the projects that are done with the summer. Mr. Highline will no longer be involved in those projects, so this is going forward. But we could go back to because if we went back and negotiated with Paragon, the contract, and we could ask him if he really needs to, and then to be more specifically of how many hours would he consider working after.
What about if we let, Mr. Jimenez deal with this and bring us a recommendation for the next board meeting? I don't know what that's,
I'm good with
Yeah,
that.
I
For the
think
next-
Table
there were
this
some
item?
valid questions that came up today, so
yeah.
we need to answer those
Yeah,
questions.
could we table it and
Table,
bring it
yeah.
back for the next? board
Yeah,
meeting?
no, we're
Okay.
just getting prepared for
Yeah.
future
Okay.
projects.
All right, okay,
So, motion
We're
to
gonna-
table the item?
yes.
Second?
Okay, motion by Calderon, second by Alvarado. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. 2, approval of temporary restroom plan for intermittent housing for staff and students at Calexico High School.
That's because of the building, because of the building that is gonna happen,
I'll make
right?
a motion to approve.
Second?
Motion by Alvarado, second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. Informational items, superintendent's report.
Okay, thank you, President Calderon and Board of Trustees, staff and audience. This is my actual first regular board meeting as the superintendent here at Calexico Unified School District. So I did want to take a little bit of time to acknowledge how honored I am to be here, sitting up here at this dais and sitting here with this board and in front of our staff and community members for the Calexico Unified School District. I'm have been deeply impressed by so many people in the school district who care so deeply about our community. I know that the roots run deep in Calexico. That's one thing that I've learned. There's a lot of families and generational, and that could actually be an incredible resource, an incredible energy to harness for something good or to harness for something great. So I'm looking forward to working, President Calderon and Board of Trustees, with the board and with our staff of all the great things that Calexico already is, and just to take it to the next level. And I'm very honored and humbled, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. I hope that everyone had a restful and wonderful summer, and I would like to welcome all of our students and staff to a productive and fulfilling 22-23 school year. I look forward to personally meeting you all in the coming weeks. I plan to start visiting every school site and walk through every single classroom within the first several weeks of the school year, just as I'm getting to know the schools and staff and students. Our administration and staff are working incredibly hard to ensure that our schools are ready to receive our students. I know that on Monday, August 22nd, is our first day of school. I know that the management team has been meeting almost every day for all-day meetings to go over a lot of information. I think we are, just bombarding them with a lot of expectations and requirements and information for them to complete. But they're there and they're working hard, and I appreciate Ms. Elisa Ramirez and Ms. Maribel Paez, our assistant superintendents, for putting a lot of that work together and leading those trainings. This coming week, we will be welcome back our teachers on Tuesday, August 16th. Starting on Wednesday, August 17th through the 19th, staff meetings and curriculum planning will take place to ensure that our staff is set with the information and tools they will need to start the new school year. We will continue to follow COVID guidelines as we are required by public health agencies. We will comply with any mandates or laws that are required of us as a public institution. COVID is still around, and it's just still something that we need to continue to pay attention to and be cautious as much as we can. The fall sports have officially started at Calexico High School. Practices started already. I had the great pleasure of visiting our football team this week, and when they first saw me, they wanted to make sure that I wasn't there to take video. So I had a big football coach that I had to kind of look up to, and he goes, "Who are you, and are you here to take video of us?" So I told him that I was the new superintendent, and they were very happy, and it was a great visit. And so I'm really looking forward. Our first game is next Thursday. It was moved from Friday to Thursday. So the coach was really Coach Solano was pushing his kids. He goes, "We have one last day of practice, so we have to practice even harder to be ready for Palo Verde in Blythe." So go Bulldogs, and we wish them the best of luck. But they were really working hard. Our practices: football started July 30th, girls volleyball August 1st, girls tennis, cross country, and cheer all started August 1st. Volleyball has participated in 2 preseason carnivals and will travel to Hopeville on Thursday, August 11th for its first contest of the year. Game times for freshmen is 4 p.m., junior varsity is 5 p.m., and varsity is 6 p.m. Football will travel, as I said, to Palo Verde on the 18th, and the game time for junior varsity is 4 p.m., and for varsity is 7 p.m. Girls tennis will open its season with the scrimmage against Brawley here at Calexico on August 11th at 4 p.m., and their first official contest will be Friday, August 26th at Olympian High School in San Diego. Cross country will participate in the Wolfpack Invitational in San Diego on Friday, August 26th to open its season. And some upcoming events: our next board meeting will be Thursday, August 25th, 2022. And with that, I wish everybody a wonderful weekend, and go Bulldogs, and go Calexico Unified School District. And Mr. President, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. That's once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog, huh?
That's what I heard.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Okay. Thank you. Number 2, Measure Q and Measure V updates.
Good evening, Board, Superintendent, and members of the audience. My name is Kim Desert, and I work for School Site Solutions, and we're the project managers for the construction projects, the summer projects. I'm going to start out with the Measure Q high school projects. The interim housing project is proposed to begin in November, pending board approval. The project team has a meeting to discuss distribution of personnel from the administration office next Tuesday at 11. Ms. Williams, Mr. Perez, as well as the project team will be present for the meeting, so we get all of their input, because in the interim housing, Ms. Williams has found a place on the campus in the regular classrooms for the students. So those other, all the administration, when we tear down the administration building, all of that staff has to be housed somewhere, so they will be in those portables. So we want to make sure we get all their input for that. The mitigated negative declaration, which is required in order to do any Measure Q projects because of the size of the project. It's out for public review. There's a copy of it out here in the lobby. There's one at the warehouse, and there's one on the website. And it's some long reading. It's about 400 pages, so enjoy yourself. The district, we will be taking the review for that because it goes out for public review for 30 days, and that started on August 3rd. It will end on September 3rd, so we will take it to the September 8th board meeting. There'll be a public hearing for anyone who wants to speak on it, and then there'll be an action item to approve it moving forward. So the DSO plans for the high school master plan, they're being prepared by Sanders Inc. They are currently in design development. We've reached out to the architect for a timeline of the submittal of plans to DSA for the interim housing, the high school master plan, and the A4 16 classroom building. So that will be coming to you very soon. On the other construction projects, the Varner and Godfrey gym locker room modernization, the subcontractors continue to experience delays in receiving electrical, HVAC, alarm, and data materials that are essential to the completion of the job. COVID is also causing staff shortages for a number of trades. At this time, lockers are scheduled to be installed in the Varner locker rooms at the end of September, with a completion date expected November 1st on Varner, pending any further delays in receiving materials. Final placement of the concrete for student access to the Varner gym will be completed next week, so the students will have a path into there. On the Godfrey gym locker rooms, they have the same issues with supply chain. So they have been held up since early June on the termite remediation. No work could move forward until DSA gave final sign-off on what structural changes would be required by the contractor. The approval was received on 8/9, 2 days ago, by Sanders, and then Sanders Incorporated notified us, and we put the word out that it's there. The contractor is moving forward with submittals to the architect, because once they get those plans, they have to submit a material list, and Sanders has to approve whether or not that submittal meets the requirements as they designed it. Okay, so then they can order all their materials, and they'll find out if there's any delay in what they're waiting for. At this time, the contractor has indicated that the Godfrey locker rooms will be ready for students when they return to school after the winter break. And this was a big delay due to the termite damage, and we were really on the fence and holding our breath that DSA could have said that we had to demo those rooms because there was so much damage to them. So we're very thankful that they came back with minimal changes, and so we can move forward on that. As of today, Godfrey does not have power to the fitness center due to delays in the electrical components that are coming in for the panel. However, temporary power will be provided to bring HVAC, lighting, and electrical outlets until those components are received. The contractor will assist the district in moving athletic equipment back into place. And next week, the district maintenance department will meet on the 16th to plan for cleaning of that building, so it will be ready for students on the 22nd. So they will have some power. The high school CTE Police Academy Shade Project, it's ready for the contractor to come and install the footings. This person, the subcontractor, notified us he had some family issues. I don't know if it's COVID or health or what the deal is. So he will, as soon as we know when he'll be coming, and they are poured and cured, then they'll bring in the Class 2 base for the pad. And once that's done, the contractor will reinstall the obstacle course that was taken out in order to do the footings for the shade. Western Builders, the installer of the metal shade, once all of this gets done and he can erect that building, then they can go in and install the lights and the fans. I'm not going to say the name because I think it's a terrible name, whoever named those fans. And there'll be a bottle filling station for the kids that are using that out there. The Kennedy Garden multipurpose accessibility improvements, that project will be 99% completed by Thursday. The floor tile was delivered to the school multipurpose room yesterday. It has to acclimate to the temperature in the room until Monday. On Monday, the flooring contractor will begin installing the flooring. Well, he has to prep the floor first, and then he'll do that. But Monday morning, we're all going to meet with the principal, Ms. Fuentes, to make sure that teachers can access their classrooms while this flooring is going in, and it won't impede them in any way. The base, the rubber base that goes around the floor, is not scheduled to arrive till next week. When it does come in, it needs to acclimate as well, and that will be installed on a Saturday so that the smell of the adhesive will not bother the students. Blanche Charles concrete replacement, they had their last pour yesterday. I think they had 25 days of installing concrete over there, and it looks wonderful. We are going to walk that on Tuesday at 8:30. Yeah, at 8:30 in the morning, so that we can punch the list of anything they need to, that wasn't to our satisfaction. And then hopefully on the 8th of September, we can bring that in for a notice of completion. Any questions?
Any questions, board?
Just on Varner Gym, not Godfrey, because I mean that was the termites. But on Varner Gym, what was the completion date on that? What was the original completion date for that?
August 18th.
And you said the holdup was because of electrical, HVAC shortages, and what else?
Data wiring,
Data wiring?
from the security company that installs all of that.
So they said there was just shortages
They
on
gave
the,
us letters. The subcontractors gave us letters detailing it. The electrical supplier gave us 4 pages of all the components that were ordered. Those are the guts to the panels. And it would have the ship date. Well, it says estimated ship date and the actual ship date. And there's, I think, 14 of them that I highlighted that don't even have a ship date yet.
all right.
And they're coming from all over the country, from Georgia, Ohio, different places, Texas.
And on the Rockwood playgrounds, that's not you guys, right?
No, I'll brief the playgrounds in a minute.
All right, perfect.
So,
Yeah, that's-
any more questions?
That's it, thank you. No, that's
Okay.
it.
So the playgrounds are scheduled to be completed, all of them except for Blanche Charles will be completed by August 18th. The Rockwood one has been completed. When the water was turned on, there was like a sinkhole because of the water, so they'll be fixed this week. So that rubber surfacing that kind of bubbled up will be fixed this week, and all the rubber at Jefferson, Mains, except for Blanche Charles, will be installed by this week, by the following week.
Mr. Campo, and
Yes,
in
sir.
regards to the playgrounds at Rockwood, all that dirt, because there's been a pile of dirt there, like just the one that's closer to, what is it, 98?
Yes.
Is that all gonna be evened out, or is that gonna be left
They're
right there?
gonna start removing it this week.
Okay.
Because there's piles at Jefferson, there's
Yeah, 'cause
piles at Mains, and there's piles at Rockwood.
Yeah, it looks bad.
Yeah,
It
no,
looks
they
real bad.
already
It
talked
was
to
an
them.
eyesore every time I would pass by, like, that would just be one of those where I would just keep on looking at it. I was just like,
No, I actually talked to them, and they're gonna start removing it in the following
Okay.
week. Because they were just waiting for them to be able to have enough, instead of having one here, one there, to grab everything done
Okay.
by the end of the month.
all right.
I just need a clarification.
Yes.
When you said, or you referred to the Rockwood playground, you said there was a sinkhole, and then you said it bubbled up. So if it was sinkhole, then it would drop, not bubble up.
It bubbled up with the water pressure, so it bubbled up, and then when the water receded.
So we didn't close the water or something?
We closed all the waters, all the water fittings, all the water pipes, all the irrigation systems, but some of them were either not closed properly by the contractor up to that point where the playground would start, the new playground would start. And when we noticed it, as soon as we turned the irrigation back on, we noticed it and we contacted the contractor. So now he's got to go back and refill them this week.
So is he gonna take care of, if there was any damage or anything like that done, he's gonna take care of all that, correct?
Yes, that's
Okay.
under warranty, and that's
All right.
because they should have, they should have told us if it was in their way, but if they didn't tell us, then we couldn't put a cap on the irrigation.
Correct.
So that was their mistake, because we wouldn't have known unless we were actually digging.
Okay.
And, because this has happened before, so we do call dig alert and so forth to make sure that we're safe.
We do call it dig alert, but this had to be do with irrigation and not
All right.
anything to do with.
So we forgot to shut some of the water lines.
That was basically what the
Okay, well
contractor
then,
did,
okay. Thank you very much.
but it'll be fixed.
Do you have any other questions, board member? No? All right, thank you for your information. 3, basic update.
If Mr. Ben Horton is not here, if you want me to do the update, I can do it. It was held last Tuesday here at the board meeting. All the items that were passed were on the consent agenda items, and any discussion that we had as far as the special ed classes, we are still holding that back. We're not bringing it up to approval yet because it was decided that it was not the correct time to bring it up.
All right,
That's
any
it.
questions, board members?
No.
No? Thank you, Mr. Ocampo.
Thank you.
All right. 4, our ROP committee, I have no information as IVROP was dark on last month, so we hadn't had a meeting until next week. 5, board reports, Mr. Calderon.
Thank you, Mr. President. So, thank you everybody for coming to our meeting. I'll be short. We are about to start the school year, and thank you, Mr. Jimenez, for taking the leadership on the start of this new school year. So far, it feels good. I don't want to jinx it for everybody because you know how that goes. But yeah. But thank you, Mr. Jimenez. I think it's going to be a good school year, and we need to get something done. We need to get the job done. So I think everybody's ready. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Calderon. Ms. Magallanes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm really happy and excited for this new school year. Great things are coming our way. I sincerely declare it. And I wish everyone a positive back-to-school vibes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Magallanes. Mr. Alvarado.
Well, first and foremost, thank everyone for being here. I'm just excited to be back here, not over at Cesar Chavez. It just feels good. I just want to take the time right now to wish our students to have an amazing school year. Our student athletes also as well, that, good luck at whatever sport they play. Hope that our classified certificate in management have an amazing school year also as well. It's just an exciting time, as it was mentioned before, it's an exciting time right now to be part of CUHS. And I'm just looking forward to, what's on the horizon, because there's a lot of good things that I think are going to come to fruition and, set us apart from everybody else. So with that said, I hope everybody enjoyed their summer, and it's great to be back. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Alvarado. And I'll start by good evening, everyone. And I'd also like Mr. Calderon to thank you for taking the helm of this district, and hopefully we can look into the future now. But most important, I hope that everyone had a great summer. I would like to now thank all our staff for getting our schools ready for this coming year. I know that you guys have been working hard to get everything ready. And if you notice, and someone mentioned it, there's construction everywhere in our district. And I hope that the safety of our students, our staff, and our community is made a priority, because the last thing we want is someone to get hurt. But we have a lot of construction, and it's positive because we see it and we all know where our taxpayers' money's going to. And that's all I have. Thank you again for joining us tonight. K, items, consideration, actions, and approval of the following items. 1, approval of salary schedule increase for Assistant Superintendent of Business Services, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resource and Risk Management, and Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services for the school year of 2020-21, 2021-22, 2022-23, as provided as all classified and certified management employees, and approve the new health benefits structure as provided to benefit classified and certificated employees.
So move.
Moved by Alvarado.
Second.
Second by Magallanes. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 2, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Mind Research Institutes for ST Math 4 software subscription for the year for 2022-23 school year.
So moved.
Moved by Alvarado.
Second.
Second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. 3, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Curriculum Associated for data management services to support ELD students.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alvarado, second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 4, agreement renewal between Calexico Unified School District and Imperial County Schools Food Services Competitive for fiscal year 2022-23.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alvarado, second by Magallanes. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 5, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Sierra Air on on-call repair services, kitchen equipment for the Food Services Department. Before we go, I have a question, and I don't know if Mr. Ocampo can answer it. Mr. Ocampo, the only question I have here is, we already have a provider, correct, which is Vic, correct?
VIX is only for, is contracted for, HVAC systems
Okay.
only.
And my second question is, who was servicing them before?
It would have been, it was Sierra Air before, if I'm not mistaken, but we didn't have a contract with them, so it is required that we have Sierra Air as a contractor, so that's why we're moving forward with a contract.
Okay. Any other questions, board members?
No.
Oh, okay. So who wants to?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Alvaro. Thank you very much, Mr. Ocampo.
Second.
Second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 6, agreement between service maintenance renewal agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Corn System, Inc. for quarterly swimming pool equipment scheduled maintenance for Calexico High School for July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023.
Move to approve.
Moved by
Second.
Calderon, second by Alvarado. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. 7, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and agreement between 2080 Media, Inc., DBA, Play On Sport for National Federation of High School Network, Pixelot cameras and installation of at Wardfield and Varner Gym for 2022 and 23.
So moved.
Moved by Alvarado,
Second.
second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 8, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Facility Advisor on Point Products for Williams Inspection Facility Advisory for district-wide services.
So moved.
Moved by Alvarado, second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 9, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Thomas Kelly Software Associates for expanded learning software services for 2022-23 school year.
So moved.
Moved by Alvarado,
Second.
second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 10, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Zulu Dance Foundation to provide dance enrichment class for students in the after-school program.
I'll
So
make,
moved.
I'll second that, and it's, you know what, I'm happy to see stuff like this,
Okay.
because it's something that, you know,
Yes.
extra stuff for our students.
It was moved by Magallanes, second by Alvarado. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. 11, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Remind for mass notification services for 2022-23 school year.
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
Alvarado, second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 12, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and School Innovations and Achievement for attention to attendance A2A software and services.
Move to approve.
Moved by Calderon, second by Calderon Jr. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 13, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Global CTI for maintenance for the mental phone system.
So moved. Mitel.
Mitel, correction. Moved by Alvarado,
I'll
second with a question.
second with a question.
All right, go ahead.
Who-
Where's my
Oh,
water?
here we go.
Do you have a water? Thank you.
Hey, So is this a new system that we're trying on, or?
Is the current system that we have, the Mitel system. They just changed the name. It used to be ShortTel system. Now it was bought by Mitel. No.
Okay. Any issues in the?
No, but definitely we're looking into different options now, and it's time for it. The longevity of the system is we're starting to evaluate different options for the
Oh, okay.
replacement.
But for this school
If you-
year, this is.
For this school year is the current renewal of the maintenance system.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for,
No.
no? All right, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 14, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and NQuest Detection K-9s for detection services for 2022-23 school year.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
Second, motion by Magallanes, second by Alvarado. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 15, agreement between, or renewal between Calexico Unified School District and document and tracking services for license and other services related to single plan for student achievement for 2022-23 school year.
Move to approve.
Moved by Calderon.
Second.
Second by Magallanes. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 16, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Seesaw for software subscription for the year 2022-23 school year.
So moved.
Moved by Magallanes, second by Calderon Jr. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 17, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Keenan and Associates for wellness program consulting contract.
So moved.
Moved by Alvarado and second by me, but I have a question in regards to this. This is a renewal. Does this have to do with workman's comp?
Not this one specifically. This is out of our Keenan contract, and this part right here is our wellness component. They
Okay.
provide wellness classes, information, exercise, classes,
Points.
Point.
things like points for living well and mind,
Okay.
body, and soul type of a thing. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Jimenez. So all those in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. 18, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Keenan and Associates for employee benefits consulting services.
So moved.
Moved
Second.
by Alvarado, second by Calderon. All those in favor? Oh, you have a question?
I have a question.
All right.
Go ahead, Mr. Go ahead.
I've been hearing from different people, both classified and certificated, that the benefits as they were provided and the presentations that was done by Keenan and Associates are not really what they are getting right now. So I would like for somebody from Keenan to come and maybe present to us in the future regarding this, because I have heard from two individuals from the district that have told me that it's not what Keenan and us promised in the past. So maybe Keenan can come and present.
We could very definitely set that up.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
There's a motion on the floor. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 19, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and 12 Solution Services for superintendent executive coaching sessions for the 2022-23 school year.
So moved.
So moved.
Move,
Second.
moved by Alvarado, second by Magallanes. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 20, agreement renewal between Calexico Unified School District and Keenan Associates for property and casualty claims administration services.
So moved.
Moved by Alvarado.
Second.
Second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 21, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Watkins Environmental to conduct a hazardous material abatement at Calexico High School 9th grade academy.
Move to approve.
Moved by Calderon, second by Calderon Jr. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 22, agreement renewal between Calexico Unified School District and Modular Management Corporation for the lease of relocatable classrooms at various district sites.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alvarado, second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 23, term agreement between Calexico Unified School District and California School Employees Association Association, CSEA.
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
Alvarado, second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 24, memorandum of understanding between Calexico Unified School District and Imperial County Behavioral Health for partnership in the Behavioral Health Workforce Development Internship Program.
So moved.
Moved by Magallanes,
Second.
second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. 25, memorandum of understanding between Calexico Unified School District and Imperial County Office of Education for the school-based health services for high school students during the 2022-23 school year.
So moved.
Moved by Magallanes,
Second.
second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. Memorandum of understanding between Calexico Unified School District and Imperial County of Education for professional development on lessons design.
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
Alvarado, second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion passes 4-0. 27, memorandum of understanding between Calexico Unified School, between Imperial County Office of Education and Calexico Unified School District for professional development of English learners roadmap policy.
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
Alvarado, second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 28, memorandum of understanding between Calexico Unified School District and Imperial County of Education, AmeriCorps borderline programs for 2 additional members during the 22-23 school year.
So moved.
Moved by Magallanes,
With
second
a quick question.
with Alvarado with a question.
In regards to AmeriCorps, how many are we going to be having on site now?
So there will be a total of 5. No, 5 plus 2, that'll be 7.
7?
And so there will be 3 at Rockwood, 1 at Jefferson, and the remaining will be at Willie Moreno.
Okay. Perfect.
All right, there's a motion on the floor. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 29, first reading and waive second reading to revise board policy and administrative regulation 658 independent study.
So moved.
Moved by Alvarado.
Second.
Second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 30, first reading of revised board policy and administrative regulation 3550, food services / child nutrition program.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved by Calderon, second by Alvarado. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 31, first reading of revised board policy and administrative regulation 3551, food services operation cafeteria fund.
Move to approve.
Second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. 32, first reading of revised board policy and administrative regulation 3553, free and reduced price meals.
So moved.
I have
Moved
a
by
question.
Alvarado and second by Ms. Magallanes with a question. Go ahead.
Is this, free and reduced price meals, does this include the second chance, breakfast opportunity?
Yes, ma'am. All meals served in Calexico Unified School District are free because we are part of community eligibility provision. So this is more of just a policy that covers in case we ever go to provision 2 or back to applications, we have to have it in place, but it does not affect the free meals that we serve, all the 4 meals, which is breakfast, which is part of second chance breakfast, lunch, snack, which is after school snack in the summer.
Okay, and we started the pilot program in December. How is that
Yes,
going to make it, how is that going, working now?
Very well. Today I gave directions to supervisors to approach the schools that haven't started, like Maine, Cesar Chavez, and Rica Marena, to try to imagine, to try it.
Okay, I understand there's 2 schools that are not, participating. It's Cesar Chavez and Dual.
Cesar Chavez, Maine, and Rica Camarena. Dual is not participating because they're part of the fresh fruit and vegetable program, and they didn't want to give that up to take the second chance breakfast.
And how are we
Ms.
promoting
Ms.
this?
Magallanes, if we're gonna continue, can you get on, because the public is not hearing what he's responding, and this is critical.
Apologize, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Mr. Venegas.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Ms.
Gilbert Reyes,
Mc-
Director of Food Services. Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead. We just
So-
want you on record
So all
because
our- all
it's
our-
good information.
All the meals we serve, breakfast, second chance breakfast, part of our regular breakfast program, it just extends the time they're serving. Lunch, after school snack program, and the supper program are all free. So this is more of a policy if we ever go back to provision 2 or a different, or the application process, this would be in place because it's a regulation. However, all our meals are free because we participate under community eligibility provision. And we have approached, we are going to be approaching the principals that aren't participating currently under the Second Chance Breakfast, which includes Maine, Cesar Chavez. Maine's we're starting. Cesar Chavez, Enrique Marena, to see if we can nudge them to start community eligibility. I'm sorry, the Second Chance Breakfast. Dual does not participate because they'd rather have the fresh fruit and vegetable program, which we've gotten the grant renewed, and they will continue to get a snack of either fruit or vegetable fresh, rather than a second chance, opportunity at breakfast. But they still have breakfast.
Okay, how are we promoting this second chance breakfast? Are we promoting it other
It
than
d-
in schools or in
Eh,
with
all-
parents?
All this.
Oh, okay. How are we promoting this second chance?
So all the students get released during a period by grade, and they
Okay.
all get an opportunity, to go up to the carts, and it's promoted by schools.
Okay. Are we sending out any remind or anything? Anything
No,
to
but we will
remind?
promote it more online on the websites. We will.
Okay, that works. Thank you
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much.
Any other questions?
It's kind of twofold. First of all, I want to thank you for doing this last minute lunch program in the summer. I know it was like Mr. Jimenez called us and say, we were going to do this. Can we do this? And you executed it to its fullest. And my second question is, how did it go?
It went very well for the 4 weeks that we provided it. Right now, we're currently working on our claim, and now I can provide additional information on the next
Yeah.
meeting, which I will be here for the August 25th meeting, because I have another item there.
Well, thank your staff for getting that ready, and I'm sure that a lot of kids did not go hungry this summer, so
And
thank you.
And I will definitely thank him. Tomorrow, we have our staff coming back. We have our first meeting for professional development Friday, 6 hours, and Monday, 6 hours, and I'll definitely be letting them know
Thank you.
how appreciative.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
You guys are, and we all are.
All right. Any other questions, board?
Thank you, Mr. Venegas.
Thank you,
you
Mr.
so
Venegas.
much.
That'll be it. There's a motion on the floor. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Thank you again, Mr. Venegas. 33, first reading of a new administrative regulation and Exhibit 3517, facilities inspection.
So moved.
Moved by Alvarado, second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion passes 4-0. 34, first reading and revised administrative regulations and Exhibit 1312.4, Williams Uniform Complaint Procedure.
So moved.
Moved by Alvarado,
Second.
second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 35, acceptance of claim, Brianna Sanchez versus Calexico Unified School District. I motion to approve.
I'll make a second.
Second by Alvarado
really
with a
quick.
question. or
Yes.
Comment?
Mr. Menace, is that being taken care of, that issue with the gate and all that?
We are addressing that, yes,
Yes?
sir.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, motion passes 4-0. 36, job description, Director of Expanded Learning Program. I motion, is there a second?
Second.
And I have a question. What is this going to be for?
Lisa Huerta, Price Director of State and Federal Projects. As I've discussed before with other plans, kind of giving you a heads up about ELOP, our Expanded Learning Opportunity Program, that provided additional funds to expand our after-school program to really include more 30 intercession days. So that's on non-school days. So that's 30 days, which could constitute during the holidays, during Saturdays or Sundays. It also provides $9 million for the 22-23 school year for after school alone. You are familiar with ACEs and assets in the past that we've had. That's $1.5 million. So this additional money for after school programs is causing us to significantly expand our offerings, and it does require a restructuring of what we had. You're familiar, we had a after-school coordinator, and then for a moment there, we were also flying a second after-school coordinator for the district. So now this allows us to just, instead of 2 coordinators to handle ACEs on one side and then ELOP on the other, then this combines and it allows it to be one director to oversee all of the activities that happen outside of the school day, before, after, holidays, weekends, and everything else. So we're looking to have this position approved so that we can really continue restructuring, really looking at what are some of the gaps in our current after-school program and filling them with things like the Zulu dancers and additional enrichment opportunities. It's also calling us for partnerships with communities. So we've already started conversations with the city of Calexico. We have several businesses out in the community that are interested in partnering with us to offer ballet, sports, a lot of different opportunities for our kids so that we can do like a one-stop shop for all enrichment activities. Priority is TK6, but once we cover and we offer it to everybody that is interested in those grades, then we have an opportunity to also offer it to our middle school kids, and then once we fill them, then our high school programs.
And President Calderon, if I could just add to that, the after-school and extended learning programs has really become it's a big priority of Governor Newsom. So it's really like where the state is heading with a lot of additional funding to provide these additional enrichment opportunities for kids. A lot of it is based on the so critical social emotional learning that before I've heard one of our directors out here, I think it was Ms. Hortensio, said that before we could get to their minds, we have to get to their hearts. And a lot of the work that both Ms. Brisa and Ms. Esmeralda are doing is based on connecting with students. If you look at our parent survey and our student survey, we see that the connectedness we need to work on. Students oftentimes don't feel connected at school, may not feel safe at school. And so this is a type of work we've already talked, both Ms. Brisa and Ms. Esmeralda presented to our managers of other work with the extended program just past Thursday or Friday, I think it was, last week. And afterwards, we had a quick sidebar conversation to meet with educational services and business services so we could look at how we could further expand programs that really draw kids to school and find a place for them. I truly believe, and I've seen over my career, that when students feel connected to school, whether it's through a club, choir, band, sports, it's some way, somehow, if they feel connected to school, they will be motivated to do better academically. So I personally, I'm very, very big on this, and I'll be bringing more information to the board as we move forward together. But this is one of those mission-critical departments, as all of them are. Mr. Gilbert's of Nutrition Services, but it's one of those that I really believe that we can't do without, or we can't do as good as we're going to do without a program like theirs.
And one of
Thank you,
example,
Mr. Jimenez.
now that I'm up here, we've been having a music camp over at Willie Moreno Junior High that the music teachers kind of opened up to those kids that are going to continue in band at the 6th grade and then the middle schools. And so for the last 2 weeks, they've been holding a music camp. Part of the day is just music, and then the other half of the day is our enrichment activities. They started with 41 kids. I believe they ended with 48 kids. I can attest, my child said, "Mom, it's more fun to go to music camp than it is to stay home on Sunday." So, like Mr. Jimenez said, it's really connecting to those other things that hook kids, because they can't go to after school if they don't go to school.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
All right.
thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Thank you for the information. There's a motion on the floor. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Still have a question.
Oh, you have a question? Oh, go ahead.
219,000 allocated for this position?
It's salary plus benefits, and that's
Benefits are about 20 something. So that means that this person will make roughly 180,000?
That's what the new, that's what the new.
That's with- that's,
The
190,
new
yeah,
25%? Oh, okay.
When we budget it, we
Yeah.
take the
It's- that's-
highest salary possible, just to make sure that we've accounted for.
So it's up to not to exceed. It could be lower than that, depending on where they come in on a salary schedule. But it's based on the salary schedule, and we always go to the maximum, because once we get the maximum, then anything below that is already covered. Whereas if we start at the lowest, then if it comes in at a step or two higher, then we'd have to come back to that. So that's why the industry practice is to go to the maximum, and it's almost like the board is proving up to not to exceed this, of course, including statutory benefits, health, and everything else that comes with it.
I think it's close to 193 now, right? That's what the max is right now currently. That's what we just approved tonight.
Right, and this is for a director, so this is something that was approved at the July special board meeting. But yeah, whatever the maximum of that salary schedule, plus what the salary schedule doesn't show, plus both health and welfare benefits and statutory benefits.
All right.
All right, any other questions? No? So, once again, there's a motion on the floor. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. 37, quarterly report of Williams Uniform Complaint ending June 30th, 2022.
Any
What?
complaints, serious
There's
complaints?
no complaints?
No, there's 0 findings.
Okay.
I'll make
Move
a
to approve?
Second.
Motion by Calderon, second by Alvarado. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. 38, approval of the 2022-23 45-day budget update.
Thank you to President Calderon. If I could just also introduce at this point our CBO, Ms. Maribel Paez, who, based on legislation, we're required to give a 45-day update after the governor passes and enacts its budget. So Ms. Paez has prepared a presentation for us tonight, and is going to walk us through that. 1 second, Ms. Paez.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Mr. Jimenez, and everyone present tonight. I'll be presenting the 22-23 45-day budget update. Per Education Code 421-27, we have no later than 45 days after the governor signs the annual budget to actually report any significant changes in revenue and expenditures. The Budget Act was officially signed by the governor on June 27. So it's actually today when it's the last day to report any significant changes to our budget. Revenues revisions. And let me just explain a little bit the table. The second column, the board approved budget, will be the budget that it was approved June 30th, which is the July 1st original budget. The numbers, those numbers, the original budget, are actually put together or generate or original with the May revised information. That is the latest key assumptions that we have CVOs to put together an original budget, as we don't have the final enacted numbers from the governor yet. The 45-day budget revision, it's all the enacted revisions that were made by the governor. The fourth column is actually the differences that I'm reporting tonight. One of the major significant changes to our LCFF was the investment increase from 3.28 to 6.28. This was from May revised to enacted budget that actually legislation decided to increase 3% in addition, and this was actually intended to help districts address ongoing fiscal pressures, staffing shortages, and other operational needs. On top of the LCFF additional 3%, they also know that all the districts, LEAs, we are facing a ADA, we're facing an declining enrollment, we're also facing chronic absenteeism. So in addition of the May revise, which it was actually letting all the districts use current prior year ADA and a 3-year average, they also included for us to use a recovery calculation of the percentage of absenteeism back in 1920. So for example, if our percentage of absenteeism was 95% back in 1920, before our pandemic, they're letting us use
That's 2019, 2020.
2019, 2020, before pandemic,
Yeah, it was
before
not the
March
year
2020.
1920.
Oh.
2019, 2020.
One of those.
I-
One of those.
I got you.
Too many numbers, I'm sorry. But before pandemic, our yield was around 95% absenteeism. This year, 21, 22, it was 85%. For some reason, I know, I mean, our families, everyone is just, I don't know, afraid of, just for their students to come to our schools. We have also, a lot of, health issues. We have an independent study that also had a lot to do with the impact of over 85% ADA. So what the governor actually and legislation did for us was letting us use a percentage of year of absenteeism back from 2019, 2020. So that is another plus to our budget for 22-23. The other significant changes happened on the state side of the house, which was they actually added an additional one-time learning recovery emergency block grant of about 16 million. They also added a one-time arts, music, and instructional materials discretionary block grant of 5 million. And they also increased our ongoing expanded learning opportunity program, just like Ms. Reese explained it right now, of 4 million in additional for 22-23, and this is actually ongoing. And but they did eliminate a one-time discretionary block grant of 11 million that it was actually previously calculated in our July 1st original budget. If you add all of those together, the change on our state level is about 14 million, the 14.9 million.
Is that included in the 21? And the 21 million?
Correct. So in total, the change for our revenue side of the house, it will be a total of revenues change from our board adopted budget July 1st to our revised budget. There will actually be, and it will be more revisions once we close the books in September, but the revision to our budget is going to be 21 millions more. The 21,661,000.
So let me ask you about this. So these are all one-time funding of different funding sources. Can these funds roll over, or do we have to spend it by a certain date?
No, we do have until the majority until 27, 28 to
Okay.
actually use this money. And further into my presentation, I'm going to go over the allowable uses for this grants.
All right.
Thank you. The any other questions on the revenue?
No, I don't have any. Board, do you have any questions?
No.
No?
So when you update your revenues, you do have to update your expenditure revisions. Your expenditure revisions, we're just estimating an additional, and let me just go back. The revenues, all of the grants, this is one-time grants, but they are actually requesting for us to put an expenditure plan together for the one-time funds that we're getting, the 16 million, the 5 million. So right now, this is just a very brief estimated on how the monies are going to be allocated. We're allocating around 4 more million into certificated salaries, to address learning recovery, provide additional instructional support. We also updating 1.2 on the classified side of the house. And then with that, you have to update your benefits whenever you have any changes to your salaries. Then we also estimating to increase of additional materials and supplies due to the one-time grants. It's about 5 million into our materials and supplies. Our services and other operating around 4 million, and then our capital outlay about 1 million. And that gives us a total of about 17 million in expenditures that we are allocating. We're adding to the budget. One-time funds can be carried over until 27, 28. CUSD plans to expand them over multiple years to keep the continuity of operations. Any questions with the expenditures?
No.
No.
One-time grant allowable uses. We have the Learning Recovery Emergency Block Grant, the 16 million. This is only can be used to increase instructional learning time, implement expand learning supports like tutoring, integrate pupil supports and staff training, provide access to instruction for credit deficiencies. The Arts, Music, and Instructional Material Discretionary Block Grant for instruction materials and professional development aligned to best practices for improving school climate, digital literacy, physical education, and learning through play. This one is also including the 5 million operational costs and COVID-19 pandemic related supplies. The only thing I do want to address here is that the change from the 11 million that we originally thought legislation was going to give the district was very unrestricted. It was very unrestricted, general. It was not really linked to a expenditure plan. Now these funds became restricted, and they are linked to an expenditure plan that we have to bring back to the board for approval. So just so we all know, there are only limitations on how we can use these funds.
And
Any
if I could add a little bit to that,
Yes.
Maribel, so I actually think when the governor initially had that $11 million at the May revise, I don't think that him and his team had completely worked out where exactly they wanted to put the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they knew they wanted to allocate a lot of money, and we're in public education, we're elated with the governor's priority on public education, because, you know, anytime you get an increase of $20-some million, we're not complaining. But at the time, I think he said, okay, we're gonna give these 11 million, in our case, for example, $11 million to Calexico Unified, because we know we want to give them money, right? Now, by June 27th, he has to enact his budget, and then by this time, I think they figured they have a plan. Him and his team, his group of folks that he brings together, that says, well, let's prioritize some money for learning recovery, let's prioritize some money for arts, music, instructional materials. And so that's where it went for the more unrestricted, more flexible spending, which we didn't have it yet. You knew it was coming, but we didn't have it. Whereas, like, you know, okay, you're going to have some money coming to you guys, and this is what it's going to look like. But by now, he said, you're having some money coming to you guys, but this is what it's for. And so that's the difference, which, you know, we understand. And we're going to be engaged in a similar process where, under these guidelines that we're required to use the budget for, and our staff here with our board are going to be working together on prioritizing and looking at the expenditures of this money under these learning requirement umbrella, under the arts, music, and instructional materials umbrella, and then of course we'll look at the COLA, and we'll look at the ongoing 4.4 million for the expanded learning
Yes.
part.
And it's always for CBOs very surprising that from just a couple of weeks, 4 to 6 weeks from enacted budget mid-May to June, when all these changes happen, we would like to not have a lot of 45-day updates and kind of have a consistency on the May revised versus enacted. But on this particular year, there were a lot of changes, positive changes. The ongoing expanded learning opportunity program, like Ms. Risa Price already explained a little bit, it can be used for before school, after school, summer. So there's a lot of opportunities there for after school program. There is a lot of other additional funding that is not including in the 45-day update because we just don't have enough information yet. This is very recent. They are going to increase our special education per ADA amount. We have transition kinder where we're going to actually be getting money for that as well, but we don't have the enrollment yet. And there is also money coming for the first time for transportation. Any questions? Final thoughts. The 22-23 state budget is filled with opportunities to enhance extracurriculum activities, address learning loss recovery, and expand education enrichment programs. However, we must be aware that California is at the highest level of education funding ever, and while we hope for continued growth, there will come a time when this level reaches its high point and descends. So we really have to be very cautious. 22-23 is a good year, but the upcoming years, we really have to pay close attention to that. CUSD will continue to monitor its expenses to remain fiscally solvent and will continue to follow a fiscally prudent approach in regards to the district's financial performance and accountability. There is going to be, when we close the books, coming September 8th, I only have a couple of weeks to close the books, so we are working very hard in the business services department to close their books. We'll present all the carryover. So that's when you have your final numbers. That's when you have your final ending fund balance for June 30th, 2022. So, because that will be rolling forward to July 1st. Any questions? Thank you.
Well, we will have questions, but once the final numbers are.
Mhm.
Okay, so,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, great presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms.
Move to
Paez.
approve?
Second.
Moved by Calderon, second by Alvarado. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. 40, resolution and ratification.
39.
I mean, sorry. Stand corrected.
39.
Trying, going too fast here.
39.
39, approval of adult education block grant governance board. Motion to approve?
We'll move to approve.
Yeah, I motion to approve.
Second.
Second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 40, resolution and ratification of agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Oakview Contractors Resolution to determine that an emergency exists and that the binding of Rockwood Elementary sewer line replacement should be waived. It's a resolution, so. You want to have any questions?
Well, I have a question in regards to Oakview.
Yes.
Is Oakview the one that we were having issues with before? No?
That was Silver.
That was
That was
Silver
the
Creek,
other.
right?
Yes.
All right, that's because there were,
So, it's Oakview that's the main contractor, the sub is Nielsen, construction company, because they don't, bond, so, they're having another sub do it for them.
Okay.
That's why it's a little bit more expensive.
Okay.
All right.
No, it's
Any other questions?
No.
No.
No. Can you repeat that again?
Oh, so Oakview's the main contractor, and Nielsen Construction is the subcontractor. It's because Nielsen is not able to, bond, and it's a bond required that we have a bond, they go to bond in a project for a school project.
Do we usually do that? I mean,
Yes.
okay.
and we ensure that whoever's coming onto these schools and stuff like that, they,
They're fully insured.
no, not fully insured, but their backgrounds, they don't have anything lingering in their backgrounds, anything at all as far as that goes?
Yes.
All right, just want to make sure.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ocampo. So,
Move to approve.
move to approve, second by Calderon Jr. All those in favor, please say aye.
Resolution.
What's that?
Resolution.
Oh, it's a resolution. Roll call, I'm sorry. Recall this. I'm getting tired here. All right, let's roll. Roll call. Calderon,
Aye.
Magallanes,
Yes.
Alvarado,
Yes.
Calderon Jr., yes. Okay, 41, resolution of Board of Trustees of Calexico Unified School District and authorizing the purchase of educational materials.
So moved.
Moved by Alvarado.
Second.
Second by Magallanes. Roll call. Calderon,
Yes.
Magallanes,
Yes.
Alvarado.
Yes.
Calderon Jr., yes. 42, resolution to designate, motion passes. 42, resolution of designating signed order signatures of the signed child development program documents pertaining to the state preschool located at Kennedy Gardens Elementary School for the 2022-23 school year.
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
Alvarado, second by Calderon. Roll call. Calderon,
Yes.
Magallanes,
Yes.
Alvarado.
Yes.
Calderon Jr., yes. Motion passes 4-0. 43, resolution continuing Board of Trustees authority to hold virtual meetings pursuant to AB 361.
So moved.
Moved by Alvarado,
Second.
second by Magallanes. Roll call. Calderon,
Yes.
Magallanes,
Yes.
Alvarado.
Yes.
Calderon Jr., yes. Motion passes 4-0. We will reconvene to close session. We'll be right back. We still have some pending business, so thank you very much.